Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day we actually start work on the bike, ready for the trip to Africa. There's a lot to do today. I want to get the gearbox out. I've got a load of stuff here to go through. A lot of thank yous to do to you guys, but we're going to start off getting the bike on the ramp, get some bits stripped off, and we'll get cracking, and then we'll cut back in and have a bit more of a chat. Right, you've seen in the time lapse, we've got the tank and the seat and bits and bobs off. Now I've actually taken a bit more off here. I've started getting the wheel off, the rear brake cylinder, started taking one of the throttle bodies off, started taking a bit more off, trying to get ready to get the back of the gearbox off. Now, I didn't film some of that because somebody else turned up and started filming me while I was working. And guess who it is?
Let's be honest. Let's be completely honest. What he said was, I don't know if I'm going to get this done in time. I want a professional to come and help me. So I came round and opened a beer to just show my moral support.
Yeah, so he's got me drinking already. So yeah, what do you reckon? Do you think we're going to get done?
The bike?
Yeah.
I think it'll be more than just done. I think what you're going to do is you're going to create something very special.
Right.
Because, bear with me, because you're basically rebuilding the entire bike because you bought an absolute piece of rubbish. And then because you're adding on, you've got your soft panniers on the side, you've got a new top box, you're going to have the engine sorted, you're going to have the clutch sorted. I mean, nothing can possibly go wrong now. This bike will go around the world. What brings me to the point, why aren't you just going to keep coming around the world? You don't have to go home after this adventure.
Well, I do, because there's one big problem, or two actually.
Yeah, go on.
The first one is money, and also family.
Yeah, but you've got a GS,
Yeah,
panniers,
yeah.
one kid in one side, one kid in the other side, and the missus in the top box.
No, it's nice leaving them at home. I don't want to take them with me, do I?
That's a good point. Well, you can come back. I tell you what, you could have a week off a month. Family time.
Right. What about the money?
Well, it'll pay for itself. It'll be fine.
Right. Well, and if anybody is watching this that doesn't know who this plonker is, this is Helmet Head, because on the video where you said everybody knows who he is, I did actually get a comment saying, I don't know who he is.
It's a bit rude, isn't it?
So this is Helmet Head from the Helmet Head channel. This is my good friend, and this is how I started off on YouTube. Was on his channel, and then obviously I started this channel when I got this bike. So,
and it's been a good bike, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been faultless. No issues at all. It's been going great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
What have you got to do? Tell everybody what you're doing.
I've already told everybody.
Have I missed all that?
Yeah, you've missed all that.
Oh.
We've done the intro. There's been a bit of stuff going on.
I feel like such an amateur now.
Well, you know.
I want to drink beer then and shut up.
But yeah, so anyway, he'll be going shortly, so we'll be able to carry on as normal. And I'm going to take, what am I going to take apart next? I'm going to get the exhaust off, and then...
I thought you said you told everybody.
No, not that. Anyway, stop interrupting. I'm going to get the exhaust off. We won't go too far back taking some of the major bits off, but we'll get stuff stripped out, ready to take some of the bigger bits off, and we'll cut back in.
Who's the amateur now? Just stopped it. I mean, and if you're going to do big miles, it's just vibration at metal and metal.
Well, we've just had the first bolt snap. Oh, I was taking the bolts out for the footrest. The other side all came out nice and easy. In fact, they even had copper grease on them. So they all came out nice and easy. This side, one of them didn't want to shift, and as I've done it, it's broken. So that's going to cause me a bit of an issue, but this all has to come off, so I'm hoping I can remove this when the gearbox is off. We can maybe get some heat onto that and see if we can get some grips on it and take it out. A little bit annoying, but something was going to break eventually, wasn't it? Seeing the state of the bike, but yeah. Right, anyway, let's crack on again. Right then, folks, bit of a situation update. Helmet head's now left, and I've been pulling things apart, got a bit carried away, and anyway, so down here, you can't quite see, but I'll show you another version in a sec, is the battery box. Through the battery box go all the throttle cables and all the cables. One connects to the throttle body one side, that's to the other side. One goes up to the throttle, and then the other goes up to like the choke, which is just a fast running idle cable. Anyway, started pulling all those out to get this out so I can lift this tail end up. Throttle comes out nice and easy. That's a nice and easy design. You just take a little cover off, flick the cable out dead easy. The one that goes to the choke or the fast idle, that was a complete pain in the backside. Let me just get you off of there. So fast idle is a little thumb switch on here, finger switch. You pull it up and down, just fast idles. To get that off, in comparison to getting that side off, flipping out, what a pain. You have to take the grip off. The hand guards, this has to come off. To find the screw, that last screw there, you have to take the mirror out. There's this tiny little screw in there, which is a nightmare to find. Pull all that apart, take a cover off of here. What a faff. What an absolute faff that was. Anyway, that's out. The battery cradle's out of here. Obviously, we've got the footrests off. So basically, what I'm trying to do is strip as much stuff off this back end, because we need to be able to lift this up. That's going to hinge up here, so we can pull this gearbox out. So I'm just trying to clear as much stuff out of here as I can to enable that. Now, I think I'm going to have to take the crash bars off, because I've got to slacken the bolts off here, so this will actually spin. Bolts for the airbox. These brackets have got to come off, the shock's got to unbolt. Power lever and all that's got to come out. So I'm going to keep plugging away at taking some of this stuff off. But before we do that, we'll go through some of the bits that I've been buying and what stuff I've been sent. So I brought one of these top boxes off Amazon. They're not the Givey Trekker. Say that again. They're not the Givey Trekker. This is the Chinesium alternative, but Alan actually brought one of these, and oh, nice bit of stitching in there with some compartments to put stuff in. Comes with the fixing tray. It's got a rubber seal on it, you know, locks in. Is it, you know, that was 160 quid. Top box, metal top box for 160 quid. It's aluminium, it's a nice shape. I just thought I'm going to treat myself for this one, because the old plasticky one that was on there, I wasn't a fan of it. It just ruins the look of the bike. So we've indulged and spent on a new one of those. This is my box of bits that Gaz sent me early on. Anybody that will have seen the very first few videos on this, I got sent a box of bits. Now in that box, there's actually a spare clutch. So when we pull mine out, we're going to compare the two. I might use the clutch, parts of the clutch out of this, and buy a new clutch plate. We'll see. We're going to have a look. These, my front shock is leaking. My rear shock is not the best. It doesn't actually compress and rebound very well. It could do with the service. Now these were a bargain off of eBay. There's no signs of leaking. They're in a lot better condition. I paid 50 quid for the pair. Bargain. So they're going to go on. We'll see what this rear one, how well it works once the bike's on. If I have to send the other one away and have it refurbished, if I've got time, one of them's going either way. That front one is a replacement for the one that's on there that's leaking. Alternators there, that's on the list to change. That was the one I ordered a while ago when I was having other issues. Although mine's working, this is a lot better condition. This hasn't seen 90,000 miles. The casing's clean. It looks like it's only done light work while I'm here. That's going on. This, the Mr. Invisible, he sent me this. He's actually given me that for free, so I can balance. Balance the throttle bodies. Big thanks for that, mate. Really appreciate that. Top man. He reached out and said I was going to buy them off him. He said, no, you can have them. I'm going to send them to you. Didn't even take anything for postage. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate that. I've also got some heated hand grips coming off of Chris. Let me just see. I've got a list down here. Chris Goff. Thank you very much, Chris. He's sending me some heated grips and some heated gloves. They're going to come in useful. Let's carry on taking some bits apart rather than me standing there doing the thing, and we'll have a chat while I'm taking small bits off. Right, hopefully you can see me okay down there. Rather than me just standing and talking, we'll get these crash bars off while I'm yabbering. So we're doing something constructive while I'm talking. Ooh. So I've also had an offer for some tyres. Somebody I know watches the videos. He doesn't like to be named, but for argument's sake, we'll say his name's Jamie. He said, I've actually got a set of tyres. I've done 200 miles on them and I took them off because he wanted some knobblies or knobblier tyres to go on. He said, you can have my ones that have done like 200 miles. I think they're a bit more roadie orientated, but considering by the time I get there and get back, 4,000 or 5,000 miles on a set of bike tyres, they're going to be knackered anyway. So I'm going to collect those in the week, I think. What else have we got? The buy me a coffee. What am I doing? Those of you that bought me a coffee, thank you very much. It's really appreciated. Now, hang on. Let's get a socket. I've had quite a few of those. We've had someone that was anonymous, which we'll come back to that in a minute because they had a good idea. We've had Jason, thank you very much, Jason. Peter Andrews, thank you very much. And Scott from Geezer Garage, well, that's what he goes by on YouTube. He actually put, well, I'm not going to say what he put in, but he put a lot into the buy me a coffee, and that it was amazing. It blew me away. I just couldn't believe somebody had donated me that much on buy me a coffee. It was a bit strange, to be honest with you. I thought, wow, somebody's actually given me that as a buy me a coffee. Took me back a bit. But thank you, Scott. That's really appreciated. And everybody that's bought me a coffee, I'm going to save all that up until just before I go away, and that will go to funding part of the trip when we go. And anybody that's given me a super thanks as well. Matlock Biker, thank you very much, mate. That's really appreciated. There was somebody else, I can't remember, it's GoGok or some GoGo 924. They've given me a super thanks. That was really appreciated. So, you guys that have chipped in, people that have bought merch as well. I've actually sold some merch. Thanks for that. So, yeah, we're doing well. Things coming along nicely. I've had some good suggestions on other things to check. Now, a few people have said to check the hall sensor. Now, that's something I'm going to do while we've got the bike in. This will be this many parts. that's something we'll be checking. But yeah, so we've got the hall sensors to check. Something else people have mentioned a few times: why aren't you getting the ferry? The ferry times don't work. But when they don't sail regular enough, that it's not like going to Calais where they sail every day, every few hours. If you go from the UK to Spain, they only sail at certain times of the week, and the timing just doesn't work out. If I was to do that, I wouldn't have the time to get from Santander to Gibraltar. The timings just don't work out. So that's why we're riding the whole thing. And the same on the way back. I haven't got the time when I get back to have the luxury of getting on the ferry. So that's why we're doing it the way we're doing it. But anyway, enough waffle for now. What I'll do is I'm going to carry on getting, basically I'm going to get the crash bars off, because we need to get the bolts so we can swing the seat up, and I'm basically just going to keep stripping things out. So I know some people don't like it, but we'll pop back in on the old time lapse and we'll cut back in when we've got something else to see or something else I've broken. Right, as you'll have seen on the time lapse, we're cracking on. Starter motors out. What else? Everything else is out. Loose, engine bars off. I've taken as much stuff as I can that I think we're going to need to get the rear frame moving. Now, I have already given this a quick wiggle, and I think we're going to go. I think that is ready to lift up. I've put a ratchet strap up there ready. Hopefully that's somewhere near. Having this bench is an absolute godsend. It's so much easier. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, we're going to set the camera up on the other stand, and then we'll see if this will lift up and fold up out of the way, and I can hook it on and we can eventually get to the gearbox. So let's get you set up on the other stand and we'll cut back in. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is going to fold all the way up. If everything's clear, which I'm hoping it now is, let's give it a go. It's all pivoting. I don't know what that was, it's just fallen down. Yeah, look at that. Well, you can't quite see yet, but we're looking good. Oh, that's not. Let's ratchet that on a bit more because this thing's going through. Is that all right? That's got it. Obviously, I've taken the rear shock out. So, do I just go for it and take the gearbox and the power lever off in one or not? No, let's take it. Let's take this off. So I'm going to tidy up. We're going to get the rear drive off. We'll unbolt this, take this off, take the drive shaft out, take the gearbox off, and then we can see what we're dealing at with the clutch. Okay folks, with a bit of jiggery finagling and pokery and all the rest of it. Managed to slide the exhaust out of the way. I've removed, well, we were taking out 4 of the bolts already. So let's take the other 2 out. Let's see if we can get this gearbox off. I wonder if this gearbox has ever been off in its life. I don't know. But that's all the bolts out. So I drained the fluid, the gearbox fluid out as well. That didn't look very good considering it was supposedly changed, but I'm not surprised. Right. Ooh. Ooh, that's quite stiff. Oh, there we go. I've taken all the bolts out, haven't I? The people at home want to see this. Come off, come on. Come on, why aren't you coming off? We're going to wiggle, we're going to tap. Come on, baby. That was a bit of a anticlimax, wasn't it? Get another screwdriver. There we go. Oh, is this it? It does not want to come off. Oh. 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 Ah. That's why. Yeah, I should have taken the slave cylinder off first. Idiot. Hopefully we've not caused any damage. Yeah, I've moved the looks like I've moved the pressure plate. Right. Anyway, the splines on the gearbox look good, so that's always a worry with these. We'll show you that in a minute when we have a good look round. Let's quickly unbolt the, you can see, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's definitely oil seepage here. So rear main seal needs doing. Let's quickly take the bolts out of this. Yeah, there's oil in there. Bolts for that. Let's have a look on here. I'll just get this apart. Oh, and we'll bring you guys in for a closer look. Yeah, that clutch is definitely done. Yeah, I'm surprised. Oh, flipping heck. Right. Yeah, right. That must be the original clutch. That's got to be the original clutch. So, that's just where I've been pushing that around like a silly man. Rear main oil seal is done though, so that's going to be done. Right, I'll put you back onto a different stand. What I might just do is quickly take these off and then we'll show you around. Right, okay guys. So we've got everything out. Let's start having a look. So, as you can see there, that rear main oil seal, that's done. That's definitely leaking. That is not good. So that's got to be changed. Let's show you the clutch. So you can see here, hopefully you can see it. Yeah. So there's all heat spots on there. The other side of that, you can see that's all where, obviously, where it slipped. The clutch plate itself, let's see if we can show up. I mean, it's literally, it's on the verge of disintegrating. That clutch is done. So that's that bit. Let's have a bit of a look at her. I mean, it's half a bike. Look at it. So, rear main oil seal. I think I'm going to see what seals they do for the front, because the other thing I've got to look for is a hall sensor, which I believe is under here somewhere, which that's another day getting. We'll get that out when we change the alternator, put the other alternator in. Now, the broken bolt, which is in there, which isn't too bad. I'm not too worried about that. I'm quite glad that there's no wear on those gearbox splines, no wear at all. So, obviously, that's all smuzzed up from the rear main oil seal going. So that's going to be it for today's episode. My hands are filthy. Should have worn some gloves. And we're nearly there. Well, I'm not saying we're nearly there. That's that part stripped down. So luckily, hopefully now, this is Sunday, hopefully now I can get some parts ordered for next week. I can get some more done next weekend. I'm just glad we've got this done today. Because once I get some parts here, we can get cracking on getting all that back together. Which, once the clutch is in it, I'll be happy because that's a big job ticked off. So, now something somebody said, and also it was on the buy me a coffee thing, they've said she needs a name. Now, I've been calling her Big Yella, or Yella. Can anybody think of a name for her? It's nice to give them a name. Like I say, I've been calling it Big Yella. Do you think we should keep it as Big Yella? Has anybody got any names we should use? Put a comment down below what you think the name should be. I'll go through, I'll pick a few, and then maybe we'll put a poll up on the channel and get people to, and we'll pick it that way. Yeah, let's do that. So if you've got a name, stick in the comments. Let's get a thing going. Let's see if we can give the bike a name. And until next week, hopefully, if I can edit these fast enough and do the work, that'll be it, guys. So next time we come back, we'll have some parts. We can start doing stuff and maybe getting it back together. So until then, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you then.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.